left religion, became an atheist. And atheism taught me that religion upholds race supremacy and subjugates women and the LGBTQIA community. Religion, all religions, even if they're not Christian, they've always believed that whatever race involved in this religion was the most important. That every other race, religion was wrong. But there's something about Christianity. That's why I call it the white man's religion. Because it's so true. The worst acts in American history were perpetrated by people who believed they had a Christian right. And it's sad that not much changes. Not much changes. And religion, no matter what good religion does, it can't erase the awful, awful, awful way it treats people who don't have hetero privilege or white privilege. And it's really, really sad. Why does religion have to be this way? Because man created it. Religion does not exist outside of man. Do you think that if only women existed, that most of these violent, white-centered, male-centered religions would have existed? Of course not. No woman would create a religion like Christianity or Islam. They just wouldn't. Women would not write a religion that forces women to cover their entire body or to hide their body as they do in Christianity. No woman will create any religion that treats women this way. They just wouldn't. Men created these religions to justify their awful views on women. And Christianity is all about how women are less than. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what the Bible says. Because if the biggest Christian denominations and churches see women in a way, that's the way it is. It shouldn't be, but it is. Southern Baptist people view women with contempt. And they said, no, they don't. Well, have you seen any Southern Baptist female preachers or gay preachers lately? No. They hate these people. You can dress it up as God said women shouldn't speak in public, but anyone with a brain can see it's because they don't view women as fully functioning adults. They see them as children. And religion does uphold race supremacy, and it does subjugate women, non-white people, and LGBTQIA. I don't know if there is a more abusive environment but church for non-straight people to grow up in. If there is, I've never heard of it. Can you imagine growing up in an institution that sees people like you as a threat? It would be like a woman growing up in a culture where they said women are garbage. Can you imagine the damage to a woman's psyche? I can, because we live in that culture. We live in a culture that says that African Americans are criminals. And yet we do very little to help minorities get out of poverty, because poverty is the number one reason why people and ethnicities have more of a bend toward just criminal behavior, because of poverty. And yet, I've never seen a Republican, white, straight man as president try to help African American citizens. They just judge them and make them a scapegoat. But where there is poverty, there is crime. And there's just something insidious about the way religion views people that aren't white and male. Or straight. There's always that. It's the big three. It really is. Gender, race, and orientation. If you answer cis, heterosexual, and male, and white, you might as well be king, because you're gonna get the privilege like nobody's seen. That's why I always make a joke. The only people that can't get a fair trial are minorities and just regular people who aren't white people. It's super rare for people who are minorities to get a good trial. I mean, if you're a minority and you shoot, kill, or murder somebody who's white, you just tripled your odds of being on death row. It's true. The justice system is racist and sexist. Latinos, African Americans, they triple their chance of getting the death penalty by killing a white person. Because that's the way our culture is, and it's terrible. But religion has supported slavery, racism, Jim Crow, every bad moment in our history. Christianity has been right there. When xenophobia and Islamophobia became big in the 2000s, religion was right there stoking the racism. And there are churches out there that don't stoke that fire. And in my opinion, that's great. That's amazing. But it's not going to be a consistent thing in Christianity. It can't be. You can't be a part of a culture that supported slavery 130 years after it ended and call yourself a decent human being. You cannot justify that. But they'll find a way, because Southern Baptists will find a way to justify their hatred of women and gay people. They'll find a way.